Hi, and welcome to this Weekday Word. One of the passages appointed in the daily office today comes from Paul's second letter to the Christians in Thessalonica, beginning in the 3rd chapter, where in the first verse, Paul says, "Finally, brothers, pray for us, that the word of the Lord may speed forth and be honored." One of the things I think this short verse reminds us of is the need to be praying for the mission of the spread of the gospel. A lot of times in our own lives of prayer, we can reveal what matters most to us. Most of us in our lives of prayer spend most of our time praying for ourselves and for those close to us who mean a lot to us. And those are good prayers. But sometimes we don't spend much time at all praying for the mission of the church, for the spread of the gospel, for those who speak the gospel and proclaim it, and for the church to be able to have discernment to know how to reach people with the good news of Jesus. And so I simply want to encourage you, be sure to be praying for the mission of the church. Pray for those who have given their lives as missionaries overseas, that they would be protected and provided for, and that they would find ways to communicate the gospel in a culture different from their own. Pray that in those places an indigenous church would be raised up to continue to proclaim the gospel and establish a deeply rooted church. Pray for your local church. Pray for those in leadership to be able to communicate the gospel clearly and well, and to have a burning desire to see people reached with the love of Jesus. And pray for the people of the congregation to have that same burning desire, that we would not be able to rest until we reach people with the love of Jesus and see their lives caught hold of by Him. And pray for protection for the church, that we would be able to spread the gospel without hindrance, and that enemies, whether physical enemies or spiritual enemies, would be held at bay so that people can hear the good news and come to faith. Pray for people in your own life and in the lives of those around you who need to hear the gospel and to come to faith. In other words, fall in love with the mission of the church and pray for it daily. It is one of the most powerful weapons that the church has for the spread of the gospel, and that is to be filled with a people who are daily praying for that same spread. And so I pray today, friends, that you simply pray for the church and for the spread of the gospel and for those who are proclaiming the good news, yourself and those who have answered the call to go to wherever God has taken them to share the good news of Jesus with those around. Be blessed this day, and I look forward to seeing you soon.